guys, this summer in Tuscany, I learned how to make a chicken under the brick. Now you're wondering, why would you ever want to cook a chicken under the brick? Well, let me tell you, it roasts very easily, and most importantly, the chicken comes out with a crispy skin and it's absolutely delicious. Oh, wait, it also takes half the time of a normal chicken to roast. So it's a lot easier and it's very small kitchen friendly. So let's get cooking. Let's take a look at the ingredients for our chicken under the brick. We have the aromatics. I have rosemary, thyme, I have a little bit of garlic, then extra virgin olive oil, and of course salt. And I'll also add a little bit of pepper. And then we have the star of the show, our chicken that, as you remember, I have attacked with a kung fu move like this. Ta! So this is the way the chicken looks after it's been butterflied or spatchcocked, and I am going to show you how to make this great pollo al mattone. But just remember, when you're handling chicken, you need to wash your hands with soap very thoroughly to avoid cross-contamination. So now let's get cooking. I've got my very well seasoned and durable cast iron skillet, which, as you know, is one of my favorite things. And I am going to drizzle a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, just very, very lightly at the bottom of the cast iron skillet. Then I'm placing my butterfly chicken. Let me explain you how to place it. You want to make sure that the legs are facing inwards. They're like this, and the wings have to be placed next to the breast like this. So that's the position of the chicken. Now I am putting on the side a little bit of garlic. I have 4 cloves over here, and then the aromatics. So I have a little bit of thyme that I'll spread all over. I'm making a mess, but it doesn't matter because it's supposed to be a little bit messy, so you don't have to make it too perfect. Here we go. I love thyme. It's just one of my favorite herbs, so I usually overindulge with it a little bit. I put a little bit more, so it's really nice and tasty. Okay. If you don't want to remove them from the stalks, you don't have to really. I just like the idea of having the little leaves. I think they're very decorative. And then I have the rosemary. That is the best and most Tuscan of all the herbs and spices in general. Here we go. Isn't it pretty? This is so pretty. And now for the salt and extra virgin. Let me just wash my hands real quick with soap. I hear sometimes that you have to sing happy birthday twice to completely sanitize your hands. Ooh, that's hot water. Okay. And now a little bit more of extra virgin on top to crisp up the skin real nice. And finally, let me dry my hands. And I'll finally add the salt. Okay. I have my oven already at 400 degrees, and this chicken is going to go, you want to be generous with the salt. You really want to be generous with the salt. So say about 2 teaspoons of salt. Make sure that it's completely covered, because you've got a lot of stuff that, okay, you got a lot of perimeter to cover. Now this goes in the oven at 400 degrees for about more or less 20 minutes to half hour. We will double check that it's completely cooked, and then we will serve it. I'll show you how to cut the rest and then serve it to your guests. And now for the brick. You don't need a brick at all. Actually, I have a panini press, and that's what I'm going to put on top of my chicken. I'm going to make sure that it's perfectly on top of the breast, so it actually lays flat as much as possible. And then I'm going to take all of this concoction and put it in the oven for about half hour. After half hour, I am going to remove my brick, although it's not really a brick. I'm going to carefully put it in here and let it cool. And as you can see, the chicken is cooked, but it still has kind of pale skin. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put it back in the oven so that the skin can crisp up completely. Here is our chicken. As you can see, it's perfectly golden brown. It's perfectly cooked as well. And as you recall, I put it in the oven for about 30 minutes at 400 degrees. And then I removed the brick and I put it under the broiler on high for about 15 minutes. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon juice just to make it very zesty, like Tuscans would love. And then I'm going to cut it up and serve it. And now my favorite part, we are going to try the chicken. But before, I want to show you that it's perfectly cooked and it's perfectly flat, as it would be if it was cooked under the brick. So I'm going to take a small piece of this. I also put a little bit of juice in it. It's delicious. I strongly recommend you try to cook your chicken with this technique because it comes out so moist and juicy and it won't dry out at all. I'll see you again on the next Cooking in Manhattan. And now, turn off the computer and get cooking. Ciao!